Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to Shelf Stories, the channel that tells tales from games, books, and life. I am your host, Jason. Thank you so much for stopping by to this latest episode of Shelf Help, where I give tips and tricks on how to be a happier gamer and a happier person. So, I'm out here. It is New Year's, or a little bit after New Year's, January 2nd. I'll be posting a couple of days after that. In one of my happy spots, I did a video on happy spots. This is actually closer to my home here in Connecticut. I am in my little gazebo over here with the ducks and the geese, just listening, and have a little waterfall over there. A really peaceful spot, a really reflective spot. And what I wanted to do today was a reflection. I'll call it shelf reflection. Why not? Branding. And the reason I'm doing this is I got a very interesting listener email, private mail on BGG, which please, my username is Pope6. Please reach out to me anytime. I love anytime I get feedback. And this particular one was very meaningful. It was a long letter talking about how my content has helped them, the shelf helps, and the Games for a Healthy Mind, and just kind of everything that I try to do really helped them get through some stuff, conceptualize some things. And thanking me and everything. Oh God, it was so awesome. I'm not going to reveal the person's name because it's a little personal. But they did ask me a question. It was a very interesting one. I wanted to address it. The question basically is, how do I do it? How do I do my job? How do I be a psychotherapist and listen to a bunch of people's problems, endlessly throughout the week, and while putting out content and seeming joyful? I put out content, 1 or 2 videos a week for the Dice Tower, a video a week or two every time for the Bus Stop Co-op Shop, my own channel, book chats, and the unboxings, everything that I do. How do I do it? And I don't want to make myself sound like any kind of titan of content creation. I think lots of people, much bigger, do it much better than I do. But I think that what the person was getting at was, how do I guess maintain that joy, maintain that level of productivity, doing what I do. And I'll leave the psychotherapist part, like how do I do it as a psychotherapist? I'll leave that for a separate video or just kind of a private message at some point, if people are interested in that question. But I think the content creating part, like how do I, maintain consistency, and how do I keep on putting stuff out as a content creator? And the answer is really simple. The answer is know your blessings and know your struggles. The answer is Nathi Seatan, which is know thyself, my butchered Greek pronunciation, that was inscribed on the Oracle of Delphi, which is, very famous ancient place for oracles, but also just reflection. And, that it was a foundational Greek principle of philosophy. And I was a philosophy major, actually, and I'm kind of a little armchair philosopher myself. So that's important to me. I come to places like this to reflect and know myself. And I think I kind of break things down in terms of knowing my struggles and knowing my blessings. So, obviously I take one question, I turn it into 2 15-minute videos. Oh, man, I love to talk. That is my struggle. My principal struggle is like editing myself. I'll try the best that I can here. So I'm going to put out 2 videos. One will be kind of the top 5 list of struggles. And then I will get into a top 5 list of blessings. So this is a struggles video. And a very important caveat, just kind of thinking through my struggles list. It's so easy to come off as like complaining. It's so easy to come off as, I'm not grateful or whatever. And I want to be really careful, like right at the jump. It's like, okay, if I don't articulate my struggles, it's for the sake of honesty. It's not for the sake of complaining. Fine line. But I definitely wanted to just kind of put myself out there as a human being. And in the context of the fact that every struggle that I have, there are blessings on the other side that make sticking with content creation and just being a board gamer in general worth it. So context. Don't want to divulge into negativity too far. All right. So top 5 struggles that I have as a content creator. Let's do it. All right. So my number 5 struggle to overcome as a content creator is feeling a need To be productive, I'll put need in scare quotes, because at the end of the day, who needs to be productive? But ask anyone who is doing what we're doing, and we get into this thing of like, we need to keep putting stuff out there. People, audience likes consistency. Audience likes a certain level of quality, and if you want that resonance, which I'll get to that later, be productive, be consistent. If you have a relationship with publishers, they feature their stuff if they're going to send you a game, or just kind of keep that relationship going. So, I'm very regimented. I'm not a person that just kind of like is an auteur that posts whenever I want. Like I need, I have a schedule, month out, podcast, and, videos a week of the Dice Tower. Like I did a weekly podcast for 4 years on Every Night is Game Night. And every week I was there. So I think so that's all cool. And I realize about myself that I need to be kind of like calendared in order to be at my maximum productivity, which is fine with me. I think the biggest thing that I struggle with is just kind of mediocre games. And I'm not going to say bad games. I very rarely play truly bad games. I don't think there's a ton of bad games out there, to be honest with you. I think there's this idea in the community that most games are bad, or like half of them are bad. And, content creators are kind of making them look good for whatever reason. I'll get to that. I don't think so. I think most games are good. Most games are for somebody. I'll put it that way. Most games are for somebody. Not every game is for me. And a lot of the games, I end up rating like a 7. A ton of games. That's like, right in the fat part of the bell curve is a 7. And I feel like sometimes I'm swimming in a sea of 7s, and I get worn out by that. I hit points sometimes where I just need to, put everything down and play a game that I truly love, 8, 9, and above, in order to kind of break that spell. So, just being aware of when I am eating too much, requesting too much, getting too much, and the too much is not filling. The too much is just filler. It's not filling. It's not satisfying me. So, being aware that like I just need to kind of slow it down a little bit and be picky. I'm blessed to be at the point where I can be a little bit pickier with what I review, and review the things that give me joy. So, preventing the idea of swimming in a sea of 7s. That's my number 5. My number 4 struggle is this feeling that I need to be good at a lot of different things, some of which I am not so good at or don't want to be good at. So there are a couple of things as a content creator that I know I'm good at. I know I'm good at, playing games, analyzing games, and I've gotten better as I've gone on, especially in my lane, co-op and solo and thematic. Euros, party. So yeah, I'm good with that. And I'm also really good at conversations. So I'm always, especially the like deeper conversations, interesting conversations. That's my job. My job is 40 conversations a week plus. So, sliding that into having conversation with interesting people on my channel, good, 45 minutes to an hour length podcast, good at that stuff. A lot that I'm not good at, tech. I'm a social worker. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm recording this on my phone. It took me a lot of trial and error to realize that I can use my phone, and just the other like world of camcorders and all this other stuff. I don't know. I'm not good at the audio and the video. So like, every time I get a comment that like, the audio is this and the video is that, it's like, that is not why I do this. So that's a struggle for me. I have to kind of be aware of that. Also just, I guess, social media in general. Social media, I ask the people who are in the Shelf Stories quote unquote Facebook group. I haven't posted there in months just because I just realized that even in my real life, I'm not great at chit chat. And I know that gets me in a lot of trouble because sometimes I give the impression that I don't want to talk to somebody, but it's like, yeah, I love people. I love every single person in the world. I can't even say that enough, but chit chat. Oh man, it's just a drain on my energy. Like, I'm a really, really hardcore introvert. You'd be shocked at how many board game content creators are actually introverts. And we're just kind of like doing this as a left-handed skill, as an offhand skill, putting ourselves out there as a content creation just because of other reasons. But so I have to like really, be aware of that. Social media is how you get the word out. Social media is how you grow as a creator. If you want to get those numbers up, the engagement up and everything. For me, and what that means is often doing something that I'm not comfortable doing. I do the best that I can, but it is a struggle, and it's my number 4. So my number 3 struggle as a content creator, and this one is, I think this one probably gets my goat the most. So if I had to say, okay, what gets my goat the most, this would be number 1 with a bullet. But it is cynicism in the community. So, that's one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of social media, is that it tends towards the negative. It tends towards defensive. And what do I mean by that? There was a quote from Howard, one of our, in the One Stop Co-op Shop Discord, one of the frequent posters. He says, paraphrasing here, that he gets this defensive reaction when he sees a purely positive review, when he sees quote unquote hype. And so, there's this defensive, skeptical reaction that kind of sets in whenever that somebody is out there and they're being enthusiastic and they're being purely positive because of hype. Are you selling me something? Are you, getting something out of this? Is there something kind of behind the screen that you, content creator, are not telling me, the audience member, that I have to watch out for? And I'm cool with skepticism. I'm cool with questioning. I'm a philosophy major. Philosophy student. I better be cool with skepticism, questioning. But cynicism, I feel like too many posters, too many people in the community just assume that we're all chills and assume that we're all just out to get the free games and out to get over on people. And man, that kills me. The more I think about it, the more I get a little kind of steamed about it. I'm gonna have a podcast coming out about it with Jeremy Howard and Michael Kelly. We talk about it a little bit, but so I'm recording this after that podcast. The more I think about it, the more it's no. I feel like I'm to make a resolution in 2021 to push against cynicism even harder than I already have. This is a joyful hobby. This is a joyful, not just playing games, but content creation should be about joy. And I want to try to find that balance between respecting people's skepticism and pushing back against cynicism wherever I see it. That's my number 3. So my number 2 struggles as a content creator. This one's a little bit embarrassing, that I feel this way. And it's you just kind of get that shame impulse. Come on, man, get out of that mindset. But the feeling is genuine, so I wanted to share it, which is the quote-unquote cool kid syndrome. Social media is all about the cool kid syndrome. Social media is all about, people posting their happiness, people posting, linking certain people and getting in the group chats, and, everybody, not everybody, but your friend circle is out there having fun, doing a good time, all that good stuff. And there's a lot of people that are on the outside looking in and I wish I could be there. I wish I could hang out with them. I wish I was friends with them. I wish they linked me in those conversations. Why can't I be part of that group and everything? And funny to talk about that in the concept of board games. I mean, we're not exactly the coolest hobby in the world. We don't have tons of people beating down the doors to hang out this hobby. But it's just human nature. I just think that there's always going to be cliques and there's always going to be groups. And there's where you get that, there's always going to be people that want to be part of those groups. And for me, I'm a smaller creator. I have a very kind of narrow niche. I'd like to get as bigger as possible. I'll get to that in a minute. But there's some times where it's I look at, I don't know, the Rodney Smiths. I look at the shut ups and sit downs. I look at, the bigger creators, or even, kind of within the Dice Tower, within the Dice Tower, this is, and please, I don't want to come off as too negative about it, but even within the Dice Tower, which I am a part of, there are, circles that link each other and enjoy each other's company, and people that aren't invited to that stuff. Not excluded, but just, not thought of. And again, embarrassing, right? Like, who gives a crap? Who cares? Just enjoy your stuff. I'm trying to tell it to myself all the time, but I don't know. There was this one video that went out. I was at Christmas time, and it was like a bunch of creators, like, I don't know, 20 creators that were invited to kind of sing a Christmas song or something. And I'm thinking to myself, I've done song parody videos. I sing. What happened? I would love to have been part of that, and I wasn't. And it's like, and that's just me as a creator. Like, I've heard people in the community say, man, they wish they could hang out with in the creators. They wish they could hang out. They were closer with their favorite creator or something like that. These people are over there. You're like, even like within game stores. Like, I wish I could hang out with the Warhammer group, but I don't want to do that. But it happens all over the place. The cool kid syndrome. And embarrassing, but natural and human. I would love to be a part of people's circles, and I will try the best that I can to deal with those feelings, and that stuff will happen in its own time. At least that's what I tell myself. And number one struggle, this shouldn't come as too much of a surprise to anyone who knows content creation. It is the feedback, the growth, the size of the community, your resonance in the community. That stuff is quite public. There are numbers attached to this stuff. You can see the shelf stories, the subscriber count. I mean, right now I'm kind of hovering up under 700 as I post this video. Started a couple of months ago, and objectively that's an amazing number. To get to 700 from 0 over the course of 4 months, and people who email me and request me, request a little bit of time with me. That's awesome and amazing. There's always more resonance. There's always more contact that you can have. You get those like I was mentioning before, those bigger creators in number 2. There's always that kind of natural instinct to compare. And I think I don't even care so much about the numbers. It's, I'm a person that puts my heart and soul into creation, especially when it comes to the mental health stuff. It's something that's really, really important to me. Or even like the book stuff, right? Or something else that I'm passionate about. And you post it and, no comments, a couple views. You would think, right, that, you're doing it for the art. You're doing it just because you want to do it. But we're built for feedback. We're built to connect. And if you're putting stuff out there that isn't getting the connection and achieving the resonance, then it makes you kind of question yourself. It's natural. It happens all the time. Am I doing it right? Do people really like me? And again, this is a little bit of a tough video to record because it just sounds whiny. But it's stuff that you have to kind of overcome in order to be a consistent content creator. It's there and it's natural. And the idea isn't to just shame ourselves into thinking otherwise. It's to just, accept it and be honest with it and engage it honestly and kind of move forward. So I know, it's not that great on the other side either. I know there's the creators that are bigger. They get more attention, positive and negative. There is no world in which you can filter out, have a lot of engagement and only have it positive. So the bigger creators have to deal with different problem, positive and negative feedback, which can be its own, crap. I'm not there. I am at the no feedback or minimal feedback area, at least in terms of quantity of feedback. I'll get to the good feedback that I get in the next video. So I just wanted to kind of articulate that feedback, the numbers. It shouldn't be a problem, but it is sometimes. Let's be honest. All right, so that is my top 5 struggles as a content creator, my shelf reflection, taking inventory of me and, my feelings and, what I have to overcome in order to put out consistent content. If you're a creator, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear how you kind of do it. That question, how do you do it? If you have any response to this whatsoever, please, in the comments below. the private message, post this on BGG or Facebook message or anything like that, absolutely welcome. So thank you very much. Please like and subscribe to the channel. There we go. Oh, I should have mentioned that in the thing that I'm not good at, marketing. Why am I saving this until like at the end of the video? But whatever, I'm keeping it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Shelf help, tips and tricks. Be a happier gamer and a happier person. So this is Jason reminding you, if you can change your mind, you can change the world. Please tune in to Top 5 Blessings right after this video. Later, everybody.